With 4 rounds to go in the 2018 Daytona DMAX Championships, in the interheats, it is still an incredibly close battle. Bobby Trundley is just a mere 5 points ahead of Chris Alcock in what is proving to be an incredible title battle. But there's still 3 or 4 drivers still in the mix. You've got the likes of Owen Jenman and Mike Coppin still very much up there for a scrap. And don't forget Andy Spencer. He's been very strong over 1 lap through the course of the season. With 5 drivers still gunning for the title and a few drivers just on their tail, still mathematically able to become champion, it's all to play for with 4 rounds to go.
Here come the drivers in the interheats final. It's Chris Alcock on pole position from Mike Coppin and Owen Jenman. Andy Spencer 4th from Bobby Trundley and Chris Hackworth. Jordan Taylor is 7th from Curtis Mitchell. Lee Carey 9th and Andy Stobart 10th from James Waddis, Adrian Lomas and Chris Kirk. The big news coming into the grid for this one is that at the start of this meeting, Bobby Trundley was 5 points ahead of Chris Alcock, but Alcock has scored 65 compared to Bobby Trundley on 57. So the lead of the championship has now changed. 3 points ahead is Chris Alcock ahead of Bobby Trundley. So the championship lead has actually changed over the course of this race.
Who's your favourite out of those two?
To be fair, Chris Alcock's pace this weekend has been pretty strong. He's definitely going well here at Wilton Mill. That's not to say that Bobby Trundley can't win this race, because he definitely can. But in terms of the history of the day, Alcock was incredibly strong in the Enduro earlier on, and into the heats over the course of these 3 races. Alcock has been lightning.
I said to Andy Spencer, you're 4th, you can win it from there, can't you? And he went, yeah.
Seems pretty confident, to be fair. He is 5th in the championship, don't forget. He's trying to catch up to the likes of Jenman and Coppin.
Yeah, he's had great starts as well today.
And Jenman and Coppin are actually very close on points. Coming into the meeting, Jenman was 7 ahead of Coppin. Coppin has actually gained 3 points on Jenman, so they're only 4 points apart in the championship. Red flag goes to green. Let's go racing here at Wilton Mill. Good start for Coppin. He's up alongside Alcock, but up the inside, Jenman's trying to get into 2nd place early doors, and he may get some assistance from Spencer on the way up through Fine Lady and up Manuel's Bank into Christmas, and it's getting quite jostly for position. Into the lead. Is Jenman going to go round the outside and take the place? Not quite, but very close.
What a move from Jenman round the outside of Christmas, and then gets a bit of a nudge forward from Coppin.
Well, up the inside goes Spencer. He's going to get into 3rd place on Coppin. Is he? Not quite, but Hackworth's going to get the move to 4th, and they're both going to make a move on Jenman. Hackworth assisting Coppin through in a 2nd, Hackworth getting through in a 3rd, and that was beautifully done. So now, Bobby Trundley's actually the man really struggling on this first lap. He's there behind Mitchell and Waddis, as Trundley is now struggling to deal with Carey. Spencer is all the way down there as well, so he's been manhandled down the order. Trundley now on the inside of Waddis, and he's going to slot into 7th position at the end of this first lap, trying to chase down Curtis Mitchell. Alcock is set to leave here as the championship leader, as Spencer dives for the inside of Waddis and takes the place. So Andy Spencer up into 8th place, past James Waddis. Then it's Carey, Stobart, Kirk and Lomas. That's Hackworth defending and getting through past Coppin. Now he's having to try and look after the place and protect it on the undercut, as Jordan Taylor is setting up Jenman for the move into 4th place. He is through, no problem at all. Curtis Mitchell's going to go round the outside and then tuck back in for the inside. And Jordan Taylor, great move from Curtis Mitchell into P4, and a big tank slapper from Jordan Taylor. He rubs the barriers.
But he's tried twice.
And now he's up the inside of Jenman at Christmas. Can he get that move finished? Jenman's going to keep the pace around the outside. Trundley's going to force the issue into Inkerman's up over the curbs. Is he through? Well, at the moment, he's got pressure from the inside of Andy Spencer.
Wow.
Spencer goes through and gets them both. Wow. Jenman's going to get caught up, and Jordan Taylor around the outside is going to try for Spencer.
That was some opportunistic driving there.
Absolutely terrific. Taylor eventually slots in behind Spencer, but then it's Trundley, Jenman, Carey, Waddis and Andy Stobart. Brilliant racing in the mid-pack, as Taylor again defends from Spencer to get through into that 5th position. Meanwhile, Coppin is all over the back of Hackworth for 2nd, and Alcock is gone in the lead. Jordan Taylor looking very tenuous in 5th place ahead of Bobby Trundley.
I mean, the 2 championship leaders couldn't be having different scenarios here, could they? Alcock's just breezing it out front, and Trundley's in the trenches.
Absolutely. This is the perfect moment for Chris Alcock. He's come close to winning championships in the past, but it's never really got his way. This year, he has absolutely hit a sweet spot, and this weekend in particular, he's going to turn a 5-point deficit into at least a 10-point lead if things stay as they are. And Trundley, for once, is struggling. They come up the hill once again, trying to make his move into the hairpin. Now, is Trundley going to be able to shake off Andy Spencer, and can he make inroads into the man in 5th place, Jordan Taylor?
It's going to be Ashby if anywhere, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Spencer trying to hang on. At the moment, it's not quite there. So Spencer has to slot back in behind Bobby Trundley. It is Coppin trying to chase after Hackworth as he runs in third place. Hackworth in second. Mitchell in fourth. Then it's Taylor, Trundley, Spencer, Jenman, Carey. And now Andy Stobar has got past Wattis, but out in the lead. No problem at all for Chris Alcock. And it looks to me as though Jordan Taylor might get his opportunity to come through. He banzais up the inside. That was a big lunge from Jordan Taylor. Mitchell loses ground to Trundley and now Spencer. So Jordan Taylor, my goodness, that was a right hook if ever there was one. As Jordan Taylor saw a gap and went for it. So now they come off the turn.
I mean, he saw most of a gap, didn't he?
Well, there was a little bit of room, and he certainly made a lot of room by making the move stick into the toe of the boot.
Make my own road.
Well, absolutely. Trundley won the first 4 finals of this year, don't forget, so he obviously wants to win another title, but after a bit of a lackluster couple of weekends, Chris Alcock is looking likely to take the championship lead if things remain as they are.
At Ella Park, though, it wasn't lackluster. He was quite unlucky behind a back marker, I think, in the heats final, if my memory's serving me correctly. But maybe it's all that weight he's lost. He's lost a bit of ballast. He doesn't know where his weight's distributed in the car.
It is obviously a bit of a learning curve as this championship continues, but for Chris Alcock, heading to Clay Pigeon with the championship lead will be a bit of a fairy tale for Chris, who works so hard. He's going to get the penultimate lap this time by. It's been a really strong run as into the last lap now goes Chris Alcock, and that's a wonderful, wonderful sight. He knows that Hackworth is too far away to be a serious threat to the victory. All he's got to do is keep it going. The luck has often been against Chris Alcock. He seems to have pulled the short straw on more than one occasion in Daytona DMAX. But in 2018, and certainly here at Wilton Mill, it finally looks as though it's going Chris Alcock's way.
It's a great result there in 4th place at the moment for Jordan Taylor. Bobby Trundley will be thinking, just 15 more laps and I'd have had him.
Absolutely. Into the Ashby hairpin for the last time, and Trundley is not quite close enough to make the move on Jordan Taylor. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board and back to a happy hunting ground. He likes Clay Pigeon, so we may well see him fighting with Chris Alcock once again. But the checkered flag is being prepared as Chris Alcock comes out of the final few turns here at Wilton Mill, and he will not only take the race victory, but the lead in the Interheats Championship. Chris Alcock is your race winner! It's a big one for him. Chris Hackworth in 2nd place. Coppin is 3rd from Jordan Taylor and a seriously disappointed Bobby Trundley. Andy Spencer in there in 6th position ahead of Owen Jenman, who well and truly disappeared away from Curtis Mitchell. 9th position in the end for James Wattis in front of Lee Carey. Andy Stobar taking his final weekend off from his Formula 1 duties in 11th position. Chris Kirk in 12th place and Adrian Lomas in 13th. The important factor, though, the championship lead has changed. It's now Chris Alcock in the lead.
Give it up for Mike Coppin, Chris Hackworth and Chris Alcock. So with 4 rounds to go in the championship, it was important for a tight race. And here in the 7th round, Mike Coppin, another good podium, good points bagged.
Yeah, I think it gives me over 100 points again for this round, so I think that puts me back 3rd in the championship. So yeah, good day. I just didn't have the legs to stick with Chris and Chris Hackworth today, so it was damage limitation once I dropped from 2nd to 3rd off the start. So yeah, still good.
Really exciting battles at Wilton. We head to Clay next, which was full of adventures last year. Are we going to have another successful run to the podium?
Fingers crossed. Clay didn't go well last year, so I think I went backwards off a pole in the final, and I think I finished about 10th in the Enduro. So fingers crossed it's a better one this time, but I like Clay, so we'll see. Yeah.
I'll send you some new Lucky Rabbit's feet, and all will be well for next month.
You're sending me a dead rabbit's foot. Thank you.
I never thought it was lucky either. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, instead of careless superstition, perhaps you could just copy the starting technique of this man, Chris Hackworth. You got Mike off the start.
Yeah, the heats early on, people was going around the outside of me at turn 1, so starting on the outside for the final, I did the same. And then it worked out at the top of the hill as well, so a good start. Took me a little bit of time to get by Mike, and obviously Chris had gone by then, but I managed to close him a little bit. I think I got fastest lap, but two trophies, 1st and a 2nd, you know.
It's not bad. Obviously, Chris Alcock, he was quite far off in the distance. Consolation that he's your teammate, or worse?
Oh yeah, Applewood all day, isn't it? Yeah, I think we locked out the podium on both races. So
there you go, Team Applewood.
The salute is actually
to the other side. Yeah, you need to get that one right, Spanners. But it's important with 3 rounds to go in the championship that there's now been a bit of a change in the championship points. Chris Alcock, a fantastic victory. great points all day, and now championship leader. How does that feel?
Pretty damn good, actually. I think it was after eight rounds last year, I was on championship lead. With the drops, I was in not such a good position, but this year it's going much, much better. It's genuinely a first in the championship at the moment. Today's gone brilliant. I mean, for Team Applewood, like Hackworth said, 1, 2, 3 in the Enduro, 1, 2, 3 in a slightly different order. More biased towards the heats, obviously, but yeah, it's been a great day. And Alex in the heavies as well. He's had a cracking race, so it's been a great day.
You've come so close in the past when mounting a championship challenge, and it's always slipped along. But this year, things look so much stronger. You head to Clay now. You've had some good performances there in the past. Can we make it happen?
Yeah, I was a bit rubbish at Clay last year. I only got, one fastest lap and both wins. So
I'd still say that's not quite rubbish.
There's room for improvement, right? As Bobby pointed out on the podium last year, you weren't fastest. So cheers, Bobby. I'll correct that this time.
Well, that's just fired it up. Thank you very much indeed, Chris. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So, as we know now, the championship lead has changed. Chris Alcock is in front of Bobby Trundley. These guys, 3rd, 4th, 5th, are going to be closing in. It's still very close with 3 to go.
I'm a bit more worried we don't have a Daytona salute.
That's very true. We need to invent one of those. You could come up with that for us and send it to us, or you can get on the website, daytonamax.co.uk, book your own name on the grid, and wipe the smiles off these Applewood drivers' faces.